Australia is a country in the Southern Hemisphere, located on the mainland of the same name, as well as the nearby islands of the Pacific and Indian Oceans. When describing Australia, people often talk about the uniqueness of a fact. Even the location of this country is unique. Australia is the only country in the world that occupies the territory of the entire continent. The largest island of Tasmania lies to the south of the continent. The official name of the country is the Australian Union. The fauna and flora of Australia is so amazing that it will leave you with an unforgettable experience. Even ancient geographers were convinced of the existence of a hypothetical Earth in the Southern Hemisphere, which was designated on the maps of those times, Terra Australis Incognita, unknown southern land. This name was first mapped in the 2nd century by Ptolemy of Alexandria, who assumed that Africa in the south passes into an undiscovered continent. Dutch sailors, the first to reach this land, gave it the name New Holland. In 1814, the English navigator Matthew Flinders was the first European to circumnavigate the continent and suggested calling it Terra Australis, as more pleasant to the ear. But his proposal was not immediately accepted, and only in 1817 the governor of the state of South Wales, Lachlan Macquarie, began to use the name Australia in official documents and invited the Ministry of Colonial Affairs of the British Empire to accept, which was done in 1824. The capital of Australia is Canberra, an artificially created city. It was decided to locate the capital in a place equidistant from Sydney and Melbourne in order to put an end to the claims of both these cities to the status of the capital. Thanks to a well-thought-out layout that takes into account the features of the landscape, the city entered the textbooks of urban planning as a model. Canberra is subordinated to one function, management. The Parliament House, offices of various institutions and parties are located here. The capital of Australia is miniature, 380,000 people live here. You can explore the whole city in one day. Sydney is the oldest city in the country, the capital of the state of New South Wales, the financial and intellectual capital of Australia. The city is considered one of the most beautiful in the world. The fantastic architecture of the Opera House, the Royal Botanical Garden, one of the best zoos in the world. Tourists have something to see and where to have fun both in the city itself and on the beaches surrounding it, in parks and nature reserves. The even warm climate, the variety of natural conditions in different parts of the continent and the long isolation of the continent contributed to the fact that the evolutionary processes of Australia did not proceed as rapidly as on other continents. Thanks to this, amazing plants and animals that have long been extinct on other continents have been preserved to this day. Of the 12,000 species of vegetation, more than 9,000 are endemic, not found anywhere else in the world. Due to the fact that the climate of the continent is mostly arid, the plants here are dry-loving. Among them the most famous are eucalyptus and bottle tree. The tropical forests of the north are rich in umbrella acacias, huge eucalyptus trees, up to 100 meters in height, bamboo, various types of ficus and palm trees. Eastern subtropical evergreen forests amaze with huge 20-meter ferns and tree-like horsetail. Unique animals live in the vastness of Australia. They not only do not exist anywhere else on the planet, they simply will not survive anywhere else, as they feed on plants that grow only here. Almost 90% of the continent's wildlife is endemic. Of the 235 species of mammals, half are marsupials. On the mainland, living fossils have been preserved to this day, the platypus and the echidna. Australia is the only continent where there are no ungulates or monkeys. There are two surviving representatives of predators here, the Tasmanian devil, a carnivorous marsupial, and a dingo dog. One of the symbols of Australia, the Tasmanian devil, used to live throughout the mainland, but man and dingo pushed him to Tasmania. Australian cuisine is one of the most diverse and colorful cuisines in the world. Based on the Anglo-Irish traditions, it has absorbed a huge number of culinary techniques of Asian cuisine, especially Japanese, Chinese and Malay. Meat products play a key role, along with traditional Australian steak with blood, as well as lamb and pork of various cooking methods, rabbit, kangaroo, emu, ostrich, crocodile, possum or, local delicacies, made of beetles and witchetty larvae are widely used. Popular meat pie made of puff pastry, pie, marinated beef fillet with curry spinach and thick sauce, bitra, large steak, capit kangaroo in sauce from Kwandong dessert peach dishes from the series, Bush Tucker, on coals, chicken, Melbourne sauce, kangaroo steak with mushrooms, as well as salad of rolled thin tube slices of ham and Asian, sat. Smoked ribs are popular along with bacon or pizza. Chinese fried rice with chicken goes in addition to the spicy tom yam soup, and the Mediterranean dolma is no less common than Russian dumplings. As a light snack, roll sandwiches are popular, rolled sandwiches with various fillings, as well as Vegemite, a thick dark mass of vegetables and dough spread on bread. Fish, oysters, mussels, scallops, octopus, crabs, shrimp and other various seafood are also an integral part of the Australian table. There are countless ways to prepare them, but Asian recipes are becoming increasingly popular in this sector. When the product is consumed almost raw, or vice versa, it is processed beyond recognition, but it is necessarily accompanied by excellent sauce or rice. The Australian national dish is considered to be barracuda, especially caught in the Cleveland area, as well as trout baked in coals and herbs, salmon from Tasmania and fish, barramundi. Fish or meat is most often served with chutney, a spicy seasoning of apples with the addition of ginger, cloves and wine vinegar. Excellent local vegetables are used to prepare all kinds of salads. And in terms of the number of fruits and berries on the table, the country is clearly among the world leaders. Blackberries, kiwi, mango, papaya, lychee, avocado, citrus and other tropical fruits are not only consumed as an independent dessert, but are also included as components in many dishes. About 20% of Australian plants are edible. Exotic local vegetables and fruits are widely used: ribberries, Australian acacia seeds, banya, nuts, pepper leaves, cockatoo plum and much more. Pavlova. Kiwi with meringue and fresh cream, lamington sponge cake doused with chocolate and sprinkled with coconut crumbs, arnott biscuits, as well as antsacks, oatmeal cookies with coconut are considered national desserts. Australian wine is not inferior in quality to the best European varieties. Such varieties as Semillon, from Hunter Valley, Muscat, and Tokai, from the northeast of Victoria, or Ennis Lane, from Clare Valley are widely popular in the world. The famous Australian pie is a float pie. It floats in a thick pea pie floater soup. In 2003, it was recognized as the national heritage of the country. You can also taste Australia if you cook this dish according to our recipe. Australian pea soup pie floater ingredients: green peas 2 cans, 400 grams, minced chicken 500 grams, cream 150 milliliters, puff pastry 1 package, olive oil 3 tablespoon, tomato paste 2 tablespoon, Worcestershire sauce 1 tablespoon, garlic 4 cloves, onion 3 pieces, potatoes 3 pieces, yolk 2 pieces, chicken broth 2 cups, fresh mint and thyme 1 sprig, sesame white and black 1 handful, salt 1 pinch, pepper 1 pinch. Cooking method: fry 1 finely chopped onion and garlic in a saucepan in olive oil, add chicken broth. Add diced potatoes, cook until tender. Add the green peas, boil for 2 minutes. Remove from the heat, add cream, mint, and grind with an immersion blender to a puree state. If it is thick, you can dilute it with broth. Add salt and ground black pepper. Cut 2 onions and fry in vegetable oil. Add minced chicken, tomato paste, fry for another 2 minutes. Put grated garlic, Worcestershire sauce, thyme, black pepper. Defrost the puff pastry. Roll it out. Make tortillas. Put it in molds. Inside, the chicken filling. Close the lid from the dough on top. Press the edges with a fork. Brush with yolk. Sprinkle with sesame seeds. Bake in the oven at 180 degrees until cooked. Pour the pea soup into deep plates, put a pie in each, pour over the hot sauce and serve immediately. Subscribe to the channel and put likes. Do not miss the new video.